Alrighty. Hello everybody. It's Andrew here. We're back with another forecast discussion slash ongoing event stream. Let me put this out on my Twitter and my Discord server before we start. We are currently streaming for the first time since the last time we did this. Hope you guys are enjoying your day so far. I'm Shirley, and I'm doing better than yesterday. Yesterday I did find tornadoes in my footage from Friday, but I was throwing up and not having a fun time. Um, so I'm just sending this out to my Discord servers and everything right now, getting everything situated at this current time, so that we can have all the details for everything, or a bunch of people come in here, like we did last time. We had 15 people that came in here last time. That is impressive. And I have 75 people in my Discord server. If you want to join my Discord server, I'll put a link in this YouTube chat. True, I don't know who you are, but thank you for being in the stream. Welcome to whoever has just joined. We're kind of waiting for people to join up right now. What's up, Bean? I don't know why, but my computer acts all slow and clanky whenever I start a live. Why is it not letting me pin my own message? That is stupid. Okay, it's not even showing up in chat. Yeah, what's up, Veer? I think we're probably gonna start the stream very soon. I'm gonna put the Discord server in the description, and then we can start this thing up. We have a bunch of people in here. They're waiting. Why don't we just start the stream up as we speak? I'll probably go over some of the stuff on Friday, but let's kind of start it off with what's happening right now. So what we got happening right now is we have a severe weather outbreak that's occurring today, mainly focused on more hailstorms. We'll look at the day one active outlook here provided by the Storm Prediction Center. We have a 10 sig tornado risk, DFW, Waco, Arlington, Plano, and Garland, Texas. We have a 30 hatched wind risk for Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, and Garland, Texas. We have a huge 30 hatched hail. The SIG area includes places like Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, Waco, Abilene, Wichita Falls, over to nearly Shreveport. Currently I have GR2 analyst tabs up that I can take a look at. So why don't we take a look at one of them? Here is Central Texas right now. I have one GR2 tab up, and it's this one. There's an intense supercell located just southwest of Temple at this current time. We also have other storm activity that's out here by Shreveport as well, and we can get the radar to load. We could probably just load up that radar real quick and look at that and see what that is. Yeah, we're gonna do another one of these. I thought I would do another one of these as cams load in for the event. Do another one of these live streams Last time I thought it was cool. So here we are this time. Currently downloading the Shreveport radar data. Looks like this storm is probably right on the warm front right now. It's 77 on 66 here. Shreveport right now is 75 on 57. So this storm's probably riding on the warm front, and this was last taken at 6:56, so that was actually over an hour ago. So it's probably, what about this? This was taken more recently, 75 on 59. I don't know why the radar is taking so long to load. It is finally downloading our data. Let's look and see what this thing looks like. So we currently have a tornado warning here. Doesn't really look like much. Looks like more of a straight line damaging wind threat. Now let's go back over and start sharing my Google screen as that will be more important for the topic upcoming. Okay, so for tomorrow, the Prediction Center, as we wait for this to load, has outlined 3 different marginal risk areas. Trying to get my pen up. Okay, here we go. We have a marginal risk for Texas and Oklahoma, another marginal risk for Kansas, Missouri, southern Iowa, central Illinois, central Indiana, another marginal risk for Mississippi, Alabama, extreme northern Florida Panhandle, into southwest Georgia. These risks are driven. The other 2 are driven by a small tornado risk area with a 5% wind, and then the northern one is driven by hail. So we could see some elevated hailers there. And a slight risk was mentioned across the southern plains, but due to confidence in surface space, or due to the window being too short, one was not issued. Looking into day 3, we have another potential bimodal threat. I would not be surprised to see a moderate risk get issued in the southeast Iowa, northeast Missouri, west central Illinois, depending upon cams right there. I will be chasing this once again right after school whenever it gets out. We have a huge area of significant severe weather potential expected. Highly populated areas in the significant severe risk include Chicago, Illinois, Kansas City, Missouri, Tulsa, Oklahoma, St. Louis, Missouri, Des Moines, Iowa, Little Rock, Arkansas, we already said St. Louis, Jefferson City, Missouri, Chicago Metro, all the Chicago Metro, Peoria, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, Ottumwa, Iowa, and the Quad Cities Metro. So what could be found in this significant severe risk? Strong. You guys can see my stream now. So yeah, it should be back. Let me see. Is it back? I'm just gonna ask, is it back? Okay. Thanks for telling me that it's back. That is big use. I think we're not gonna have the face cam if that's okay with you guys. I think that's probably part of the reason why it crashed. But what I was saying was significant wind gusts, very large hail, and strong tornadoes will all be possibilities with this day 3 outlook. There is also potential for a significant severe weather event on day 4 in parts of Michigan. Here, what we can expect is the threat for damaging winds, tornadoes, and large hail. I think what happens with this outlook is that it's going to get extended further to the west, most likely, and we'll have to see. Maybe it goes enhanced as well. Thanks for telling me great songs, and I'm back. Appreciate it. Pinged everybody in my Discord server just for the stream to crash. But let's go and look at the wrap. The wrap is one of the models that I commonly use a lot, and we're gonna look at 500 millibar with the contiguous US first. Now, something I do want to note is I do think the wrap is a little bit fast for Friday's event. I think it swings the trough in just a tad bit too fast. I mean, it already has it here at 20Z with the shortwave getting into Illinois there. I think it's a tad bit fast. Now, what I will say is that the environment that the wrap does showcase is extremely volatile, and we'll talk about that in a second. We have the first lobe of vorticity out here in the open warm sector here. This could be wave number 1 of supercell activity. The thing is, it's highly capped on this run. Wave number kind of... Okay, so we have another area to watch down here. This is number 2. And then we have number 3, which is along the dry line. And then we have number 4, which is probably going to be the most intense risk. Really anywhere along the dry line to triple point in here. So there's 4 different target areas that the RAP showcases. All 4 of these could be producing significant severe weather. Looking into 850 millibar winds, they are extremely strong. Very strong low-level cyclone, pumping in that low-level moisture. We can see the RAP does showcase these upper 60s to low 70s dew points. Really throughout the board. Looking into the floater 2, I think this is floater 2. We can see dew points are well into the 60s across most of Illinois. Mixed layer Cape, the vectors are literally as perfect as they can get. There's some sort of prefrontal trough thing. Here, the environment is quite literally volatile anywhere really in here. I will take a sounding right in southeast Iowa, where we have the highest amount of Cape. Thank you, Moore, for joining in. I love your analysis, too. Did you go storm chasing Friday? Because I saw you in a car with GR2 Analyst, or GR3, doing live weather updates from there. That was pretty sick, man. But looking into the sounding here, we have pretty high top storms. These are going to be very tall storms. Lots of instability noted with this 3000 mixed layer Cape and thick instability profile between the red and blue lines here. We have a very enlarged hodograph with a lot of curving in the low levels, but more straight in the upper to middle levels, which signifies a threat for significant hail. We can see the curving in the low levels and the more straightness in the mid levels here. Still very strong wind shear. Any storms that do turn to the right will probably have the greatest tornado potential, as the initial storm motions will be to the northeast, but the hodograph is more centralized to the east, so the storms won't be injecting as much streamwise vorticity until they turn right. What's up, Chargers? How's it going, man? But yeah, this is a very volatile environment that we have here in southeast Iowa. I can also take a sounding in western Illinois, and then we'll also take a sounding up here in central Iowa. So western Illinois is, again, a volatile environment. We do have a little bit of a warm nose, but in this situation, this little warm nose could actually help the storm stay more discreet and not as messy. And if any storm can drill through the mesosite, or drill through that warm layer and get to those little bit warmer surface temps, you're going to have this whole hodograph to work through, and all this instability to carve out a nasty tornado somewhere. Here's the sounding up in central Iowa, and again, extremely thick instability profiles are present. By thick instability, I mean strong, from 12 kilometers to the surface again. Very strong 3 Cape, very steep lapse rates, and again, strong Cape, 3000 mixed layer. We can also look at some of the composites. I usually don't take a look at these, but they are extremely heightened. Significant tornado parameter is quite literally maxed out for Tuesday, which signifies that we have a high-end parameter space at play in the area that is not capped. And you can see that just increase throughout the day. And yeah, it's not the biggest area, though, of significant tornado parameter. Hodograph map is probably my favorite tool to use. Cameron Nixon implemented it on College of DuPage, and it's amazing. I think supercells could initiate toward 18 Zulu time somewhere in central Missouri along this kind of prefrontal trough. And you can see the winds kind of change as this prefrontal trough is probably located here at this point. And you can see those better profiles get into northeast Missouri toward Kirksville toward 19Z, which is 1 p.m. And then they get into kind of the Macomb area later in the day. And this is a sounding that would favor more of a hail threat, for sure, because of your hodograph not being as curved. And then again, this sounding would probably be more of a hail threat as well. What's up, Chargers? Oh, no, I already said what's up. What's up to all the people who are in here right now? Thanks for tuning in. But as we can see here, these photographs just keep getting bigger. Now, the thing is, there's not as much convective instability out here because there's a lot more capping that the wrap signifies. And we can look at that pretty easily on not College of DuPage, Pivotal Weather. It has a product called Mixed Layer Sin. College of DuPage does the Sin and the Cape at the same time, which is very cool. But you can see Central Illinois is really capped, and if it's not this cap, we're probably going to see supercell initiation along this warm front, along the lead shortwave. But if it is this cap, the supercells probably won't be able to initiate. Now, supercells in this situation would be able to initiate anywhere really in here where the capping is not as strong, and maybe perhaps in Ohio and Indiana as well. Looking into 0 to 3 kilometer storm relative felicity as we get into the evening. It is extremely strong across Iowa, and the greatest threat's probably going to exist up toward this warm front here. But there still is a lot of strong lower level instability as well. There's going to be some boundary that's going to be in play here. And then you're going to have the warm front up here. So there's lots of targets to choose from with this. At this point, we can kind of see there's a lot of low-level moisture in play. We can see the theta E values are quite high once it loads. It's taking a second. Yeah, theta E values are going to be extremely high, which is basically a measure of the moisture. 340 Kelvin is pretty high for the time of the year. Looking into surface vorticity and 3 Cape, one of my favorite ingredients to use, and we can see probably the target for the cheat code, is what storm chasers call it, would be here or here. So you got 2 cheat code targets. I'd probably be chasing the southern one, and we can see those kind of move north throughout the day. Anybody got questions? Lots of capping on Tuesday, something to watch. Yeah, I do agree more. Lots of capping, especially, well, at least the wrap shows a lot of capping in central Illinois, which would really reduce the threat there, but it's got the uncapped warm sector there in Iowa, Missouri, and western Illinois. I think capping's probably one of the reasons why the Storm Prediction Center didn't pull out a Day 3 moderate, like some people thought they would. The NAM has a lot of capping too, but it does eventually clear it up in a couple different areas. The warm front in Iowa and along the cold front too. Now, something that the HRRR does is it has literally 0 capping at 18Z along the warm front, which I'll show you guys. Yep, there we go. Literally 0. This would, in the environment is quite volatile. This is a sounding from pretty much near my house, and you can see this is going to produce some huge hail and probably strong tornado potential as the low-level jet kicks in. So if the HRRR happened, anybody or a lot of people would need to watch out across central Illinois, central Indiana, southeast Iowa, into northeast Missouri and surrounding areas. What are your current thoughts on Tuesday? I'm thinking we have a substantial chance at seeing another high risk. I would say you gotta wait for calling out a high risk, especially since we barely have any of the convective models in range. Yes, this does look like it could have high risk potential. The parameter space easily supports a high risk, but there's a lot of other questions like where will your storms initiate? How strong will the cap be? What's the speed of the system going to be? Where's your prefrontal trough going to be located along with that lead shortwave? So there's a lot of questions I have, and probably the Storm Prediction Center forecasters have too. And that's probably why we're not going to see that until it's at least like middle of the way through day 1 like we had on Friday. Seems like this event's going to be more regional, mostly in Iowa. I don't think it's going to be mostly in Iowa. I think it's going to be really... I think this event's probably going to be in multiple spots. Now, I don't know what this enhanced risk is going to do down here. We can take a look at that in a second. I have really not looked at that. But Missouri's included, Kansas is included, Iowa's included, Illinois, southern Wisconsin, Indiana. So it's not really just Iowa that's included. And let's take a look at further south as I have not looked down there. Looks like the threat's going to be overnight down south. Here is 6 Zulu time, which is basically around midnight. We'll take a look at the central U.S. sector, and yeah, the capping inversion is weakening in Arkansas there. Let's take a sounding. And that's a volatile environment, so I'm not really too surprised the Storm Prediction Center pulled out an enhance. What about along this cold front here in Oklahoma, /dry line? Okay, so not as good over here. Let's see if the NAM actually does show storms. Shows a little bit of storms in Arkansas here. Also shows storms forming down this cold front / dry line in Kansas. I think the NAM is probably a little bit too slow with timing. I would probably trust the Euro the most on timing. I think the Euro has probably got the timing down to a T with this event. Toward midnight, it's got supercells firing off here. Missouri, Arkansas, down through the Texas region. And then we have that squall line a little bit further to the east than what the NAM is showing. The powerhouse of a low pressure system. It's still got that embedded shortwave or lead shortwave and prefrontal trough initiating some what will likely be intense long tracking discrete supercells in northeast Missouri, west central to northwestern Illinois, northern Illinois, eastern Iowa, and southwest Wisconsin. That's probably going to be the focus area throughout the daytime hours unless the triple point convex, which probably could very well happen. Let's look at the wrap synoptics. And we can see closed low here in Nebraska area. We have that lead shortwave in Iowa / Illinois, which you can clearly see with these wind shear valves changing. We have what looks to be either the subtropical jet or something else kicking in across Arkansas, which is going to enhance the threat there, and then the main trough along the dry line. Lots of questions along the dry line, whether we're going to convect or not. We'll see about that. Let's go look into the Euro's environment. We'll start at 0Z and work from there. The Euro has been the most consistent model with timing as well, which is interesting. We can see widespread amounts of 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram of mixed layer CAPE. Here's the environment in Illinois ahead of those. Probably long track supercells that would end up forming. And yeah, if they can drill through this capping inversion, that hodograph is trouble. And we can probably get zoomed in. Didn't mean to click on Grammarly there. We could probably get zoomed in and look at this threat a bit more. But I'll answer some questions before if anybody has any, which I'm going to update the chat. Anybody got questions in here? Thoughts on Northeast Illinois. So Northeast Illinois is probably going to be pretty conditional. Depends on which model is going to verify. If the Euro verifies, I think Northeast Illinois is going to be in for a bigger threat. We can see forecast soundings from models showing a very enlarged hodograph, which means there's going to be a lot of wind shear in the air, strong backed winds in the low levels, which means you have a lot of turning, which is needed for discrete supercells, a pretty solid instability profile between these red and white / brownish lines, signifying instability of 2,500 in the mixed layer, and steep lapse rates, signifying that your thermodynamic profile can really excel up. What's up, Ben? Are you chasing Tuesday, man? But let's see, the HRRR is loading in for tomorrow, which is a conditional severe setup. Looks like it actually has some supercell activity tomorrow morning ahead of that squall line across the deep south. That's interesting. Let's take a look at the environment here in front of this little guy in Missouri. Or, not Missouri. I was just talking about Missouri. Mississippi. A little bit stable, probably because this is near the ocean, but this profile is favorable for some tornadoes early tomorrow morning. You have some low-level instability between 0 and 3 kilometers. You have a little bit of instability between these red and white lines, although it's quite skinny. I think the main thing that carries this is the hodograph right here. You're chasing it? That's nice. Yeah, I'm probably targeting southeast Iowa to western Illinois at this time. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to make it with school. So we'll see. Looks like we get recovery actually behind this wave here off the Euro. And yeah, that'll probably fire some storms if you have the right synoptic forcing. And these profiles overnight, the low-level shear just accelerates. And you can see there's a lot of low-level shear with these hodographs in Iowa and Missouri overnight. We can see in front of the first wave, or in front of a 21Z, in front of those storms, again, extremely sheared profile. I think this low-level capping inversion here would actually probably increase the likelihood that these storms would stay discrete instead of clustering up. And you can see that environment is going to really favor those storms to just keep going if they can sustain at the beginning. And you can see that in a little embedded shortwave, or little embedded / lead shortwave there. And the low-level flow is quite strong along it, and toward 7 p.m. you can see the low-level flow, if it loads, yeah, it really strengthens there, and eastern Iowa / western Illinois. Northeast Kansas to South Iowa is a good target of storms fire. What are your thoughts on the line of storms that may come through during the night Tuesday into Wednesday? That is a great question. I actually did look at that on the NAM earlier today, and it looked pretty potent. Let's see what it looks like on the Euro. I think this thing would probably have, I would probably say it probably has strong tornado potential with it, given the photographs that we have at hand, and probably would have some significant wind potential too. Let's see what the environment looks like here at 9Z, and yeah, I mean, we'll take a sounding there in Missouri, kind of ahead of the line, and see if it's still surface-based. With some synoptic forcing, that could be surface-based still. Let's go look at mixed layer sin and see if there's anywhere that really doesn't have any. So it looks like maybe Wisconsin doesn't really have that much. Yep, they don't have that much. Looks like the Euro's pretty aggressive on the capping inversion here in the evening. The NAM is not so aggressive with this. The NAM has basically 0, which would mean a pretty significant severe threat. Here's a box sounding in Missouri, Iowa, and western Illinois, and you can see pretty classic profile for QLCS tornadoes. Lots of speed shear with a little bit of curvature there in the low levels, not that much, and then just really not too much turning throughout the whole levels, but you do have some solid instability, which will help carry this threat. Damaging wind gusts are also going to be a possibility. You have a lot of dry air toward the surface, along with stronger low-level shear, which will help penetrate those wind gusts towards the surface. You'll already have surface winds of probably 40 to 30 miles per hour from what I'm looking at. 50 actually, so you really will not need that much more wind to get severe wind gusts and potentially even significant wind gusts as well. This threat will probably, well, if the NAM was correct, this threat will probably move into the St. Louis region around 12 or so, but it might be a little bit too slow. You can see there's still 1,000 joules per kilogram of surface-based CAPE out there, and if we take a huge box sounding from Wisconsin down to Missouri, yeah, you can see these storms would still be surface-based if the NAM was correct. Lots of low-level shear. These storms would be moving extremely fast, 60 knots, which is 70 miles per hour, so they would be moving at highway speeds. Would a faster trough break the cap? I'm not sure about that. So if somebody else could talk, answer that for me, because I'm not as, I've never really studied like how fast troughs are with breaking the cap. I've never really studied that before. I think it mainly has to do with how much forcing's there, and maybe the timing of it for some of these areas. I think that prefrontal trough slash what's it called? Lead shortwave would probably break the cap somewhere, but it's where that I have questions on. So the HRRR now still has that squall line moving through Mississippi and Alabama throughout the morning. So we may get a slight risk upgrade for probably wind and hail for this thing. Maybe even tornadoes. We'll take another sounding in front of it. Yeah, well, you might get an all hazards upgrade this morning. Would anybody like to let me know if there's anything happening in Texas right now that I should be covering? Because I know there's still that severe threat ongoing. Looks like we have 3 severe warnings. I just loaded up GR2. So it doesn't look like anything too major is happening right now. Shreveport did just record a wind gust of 73 miles per hour, which is just a little bit off from being significant. Alright, great songs. Height falls would enhance upper level divergence, so yeah, that certainly would help. Okay, thanks Veer for clearing that up for me. Some not big scale stuff I'm still not the best at. I'm probably going to read some more papers about that soon so I can grow more knowledge. Wednesday, we'll go into Wednesday for now and look at the NAM for it. Could be a severe threat, could be a severe threat in Illinois early in the morning on Wednesday, if the NAM would be correct with, again, the same environment that it had further to the west. And then as we get into Michigan, the environment becomes more potent toward the daytime hours, and we can see here a enlarged low-level hodograph with a lot of upper-level speed shear and some low-level curvature would help that profile out, along with 3-kilometer instability being high and the overall instability being high. Let me just close out these soundings from earlier. So looking at the synoptic scale setup of this event, you have a very strong 500 millibar shortwave that is still in place, and this is when the shortwave kind of amplifies and moves northward and starts to kind of spread out more. See a closed low up there in Minnesota. You still have big time flow of mid-level flow really across this general region here. And as the shortwave creeps off, or not creeps off, quickly moves to the east, the severe threat will, of course, move to the east with it. Not too sure what the warm sector looks like at 0Z, so it looks like it actually does creep into western New York, like the SBC outlook suggested. We'll take a sounding there in western New York just to see and get a general sense of the environment. So, that is a very large low-level hodograph, and if any storms can overcome this big old stable layer from 6 kilometers to the surface, we could see a tornado. Wind would probably be the main threat, though, as it would probably be a squall line at that point. Do you think they will go for a day 2 moderate? Ask me that question in about 2 hours, and I will have an answer for you. I think it really depends on what the cams do and what the href means are. That's what really depended for it last time, and I think that's going to be a big factor on it this time. Anybody else got questions? Because the HRRR is still loading in right now, so we got some questions to kind of spare out here. I'll overview the outlooks one more time for new people that have joined. So today has actually been downgraded to a slight risk, 5% tornado probabilities, 15 wind, and 15 hatch tail. Scattered severe thunderstorms remain a possibility tonight from north central Texas into the Arklatex region, and portions of the lower Mississippi Valley. Large hail, damaging wind gusts, and a few tornadoes are possible. Uncertainty remains with the eastern extent of the severe risk reached in HRRR, suggests ongoing convection. So they extended the marginal further to the east, which I think is very good. Yep, I literally just mentioned that, Veer. Anybody else got questions? I would not be surprised if tomorrow goes slight for the Gulf states. Yeah, I would not be surprised either. I'm just looking at HRRR data that's loading in, and it looks like this line of storms really persists. We can look at 0 to 3 kilometer helicity tracks, and yeah, these are pretty intense. I would not be surprised if we even get a bunch of severe tornado watches tonight either. Let's go. I did not mean to click a sounding in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Let's go to Florida, and yeah, you have these large looping hodographs that would really support tornado potential. Probably goes 5%. I would not be surprised. If it does go 5%, there's a challenge called Tornado Target Contest, and I think I'm probably going to pick tornado for tomorrow, somewhere in the Florida Panhandle. Last time I picked tornado in the Florida Panhandle, I was within like 10 miles of the tornado, so that was cool. But it was a damaging tornado, I believe EF1 or EF2. Looked strong on radar, for sure. Let's go out to more of a broader view. Sorry if you just heard a bunch of noises. I was grabbing a Kleenex box, so yeah. Anybody else got questions before we dive into tomorrow's setup across the Gulf states? Bet we see a slight in Central Texas tomorrow too. Yeah, I would agree, honestly, if all the cams really show it. Yeah, isolated supercells probably be, what, 5% tornado and 15 hatch tail? Probably get some motherships out there too, Ben. Would be a nice chase day if you're a local or somebody who's down there from today. Might just want to stay down there and grab yourself a nice mothership tomorrow. I mean, look at these instability profiles already at 19Z. They're already 3,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram mixed layer K8. Taking a box sounding here. Kind of your classic kind of loaded gun situation here. It looks like a big hail day to me. But yeah, let's dive into the synoptic scale setup of tomorrow. We'll start at 15Z. It's probably when the threat is really starting to really kick off. We can see there's this embedded shortwave impulse that's really going to keep these storms going throughout the day, and it's going to move probably east to southeastward and carry that. You have good good low-level flow associated with that. This could be an MCV, actually. Is it? That very much looks like an MCV. Somewhere here? That might be an MCV. MCV with an embedded shortwave. Either way, it's going to carry a higher threat locally throughout the area. I'm clicking a sounding in front of it. And yeah, these profiles do look MCV-ish. I would not be surprised if that is an MCV indeed. Lots of saturation, a large low-level hodograph, actually a lot of upper-level shear too. Steep low-level lapse rates with very crappy mid-level lapse rates, and very low LCL heights or level of cloud. Oh, I forget what LCL means. But it's basically the lowest level clouds can be. And here it's 101 at the surface base level and 422 at the mixed layer. So that's pretty low, indeed. Let's go look at this sector for the south central U.S. for now. And we can see there's this kind of shortwave, not leading shortwave. There's kind of the shortwave that just hangs around here. And that's going to bring out some severe risk as well. Looks like some showers do end up forming in Alabama. Let's take a look at the environment that's with those. You know, these things, I think the big thing that's going to limit these is this dry air in the mid-levels, along with a little bit of an inversion. Anybody else got some questions that they want to answer, or just some thoughts that they want to bring to the stream right now as we wait for the HRRR to load in more? Looks like we're already starting to get convection here in Central Texas at 22Z, by the way. Take a sounding in front of this. Yep, that's gonna hail its brains out. Let's take a look at what Alabama's doing. Yeah, probably some LP Supercell type thing. Grab a jelly bean out of the bag. It's Easter time. Almost Easter. Yeah, I answered. Oh, what do you think the threat from Des Moines to Ames is? Sorry I did not see that. Probably pretty high. Looking into the NAM, I'll probably look at the Euro actually for this. Des Moines is right on the warm front. So it's really going to depend on how much moisture makes it up there. Looks like low 60s do indeed get up there. So you're probably going to at least have a threat for large hail, potentially very large hail. Probably some tornado threat as well. Storm Prediction Center does have you in a day 3 15 hatched. I think Ames is located north of Des Moines, right? Because if it is, then they're probably either in the slight or they're in the marginal. Yep, that storm's really starting to go there in Texas. Let's take a look at the environment that's in front of it. Not so great. I think these storms, though, could probably be something. Moisture's probably deeper. Oh, yeah, moisture's way deeper. Looks like this run mixes out a lot more in Central Texas for some reason. Yeah, we really mix out this run. Damn. Why is that? That is a little bit of a difference from the 18Z run. This run just mixes all the moisture out of the atmosphere for some reason, which is common with the HRRR. HRRR commonly overmixes sometimes. Dang, 76-degree dew points up here? It's not even the summer. Ah, that's impressive. 30 minutes north. Okay, so they're probably in the marginal risk. So it looks like your area is probably going to be conditional depending upon the speed of the system and everything. I would say severe weather is possible. Review your severe weather plans. Could be serious if the warm front lifts far enough north. If not, well, not going to be as serious. If the wrap solution actually happens, they're probably going to end up not having as much happen either. What's up, Dante? How are you doing, man? We've been live for a while now. Had the stream crash, but other than that, it's been cool so far. Had about 15 viewers at one point. Okay, let's see if the HRRR continues to overmix. It's got nearly 80-degree dew points. I can't wait to see the HRRR project low 70s dew points along the warm front. Tuesday, and then mix the whole Missouri area out. Well, also I think I'm gonna move the. I don't know if they're gonna move the risk in North Iowa. Really depends on what the convective allowing models do. Look at the wrap, for example. Yeah, it's way further to the north. So if you got the wrap solution to happen, you might be in the threat. It's more of a triple point scenario though. What the wrap has. Doesn't zoom into cities, but I think, yeah, somewhere in here. That's good that you're doing good. Just got me an icy Sprite. Yeah, that's probably busting, dude. I got some water right now. Gotta get my hydration. Gotta get hydrated. Because I lost a lot of stuff yesterday when I threw up. Yesterday was not fun. It's like Saturday I was on a huge high after my storm chase, and then yesterday I didn't do, and yesterday wasn't so good. Okay, you know what? Do you guys want to look at some of my footage from yesterday? I'm gonna be doing a long form vlog for sure. With all my footage that I got for my high risk day, because I got so much from my chase. But I have a little bit that I can show you guys right now. If you guys want to see a hail intercept, I'll show you guys that while we wait for the HRRR to load in a little more. I gotta wait for the. I gotta wait for the thing to load in more. Okay, let's see if this thing will actually. There we go. Okay. So, I don't know why this thing is. There we go. So, here is my hail intercept from yesterday. I will show you guys right now. It's loud. This was hail of quarter to probably $half, maybe ping pong ball size, south of Athens, Illinois. And it actually had some dents on my car. And there was a tornado that I think touched down somewhere in the rain, so we had to move. And it was kind of scary. Yep, and there's my dad mentioning we can't see a tornado. I don't know if you can hear the audio, though. This hail was insane. This is the first time I've ever encountered hail on a chase. It's loud. So yeah, there's that. I don't know if you guys could have heard sound. Thoughts on Central Missouri, Jefferson City. Central Missouri. I think for you guys in Central Missouri, it's going to depend on the timing of the system and how much you guys mix out. If the wrap solution happens and you guys mix out more, I think the severe threat is going to be a little lower there. At least the tornado threat. The severe threat will probably, excuse me, the severe threat will probably be very high still. I think Jefferson City's here. Potent environment for hail for sure. And damaging winds. And a couple tornadoes too. Gotta get way more dense. Break your car in. 4 tiny ones on my car. I can show you guys. I put it on my Twitter. It's like my latest tweet, I think. Yep, it's my latest tweet with videos. I got a 2014 Lancer Mitsubishi, if you guys already didn't know. So it's a very good car. I love my car. Um, can't really make out the dents anywhere from here, but this here, I don't really see anything from this picture, but here there's a dent right there for sure. That's a pretty decent one. And then it's a dent in the middle here and some smaller ones. So yeah, those are like the first major dents on my car. Not major, but minor. Did you see the Supercell I got yesterday? Yeah, I did. That was really cool that you got. I think I did. You can send it to my DMs and I could show it on stream if you want to. Chargers. But yeah, that was cool. From what I remember, I was probably sick when that happened, so I wasn't paying attention as much. Oh yeah, it looks like this HRRR run. Ben, your sleeper day tomorrow. The HRRR. HRRR's really liking it, man. It's got a nice little intense supercell. It's been pretty consistent with that. Probably a huge hail. Debris ball Texas cell. Okay, let's go take a look at that. That is not good. I would assume you're talking about the tornado warning cell. That thing produced 75-mile-an-hour wind gusts not too long ago. We can talk about that because we're waiting for the HRRR to load in. I got GR2 analyst up now. 65 DBZ debris ball. Wow. I do not see what you're talking about unless the scan is old. Oh, it is old. Let's see if we get that new scan to load in. I don't know why my scan's not loading. That is not a debris ball, dude. I do not see what you're talking about. This is not a debris ball. It's 61 DBZ, and that's hail, most likely. If that's a debris ball, that's a weak tornado. That is not a debris ball. It's not 65 DBZ either. You just spread some false information. Okay, here is the supercell from Chargers from yesterday. That is quite cool. Thanks for letting me use that, Chargers. True. Next thing you do that is false information. We're gonna have to do something about that because that is not a tornado, and that would have been confirmed by the National Weather Service most likely if it was a 65 DBZ debris ball. Like you were saying, that is if it is a debris ball, it's 61 decibels per second, and that looks like hail. Big hail, but hail. Unless you were talking about another storm, but you said southeast of Killen. Okay, sorry about that, chat. Why am I clicking on Call of Duty page? I don't know. Okay, so let's look at what the RAP HRRR does, and we can see. Let's go to 2 to 5 kilometer AG tracks. Yep, there's several of them for yesterday or tomorrow. Now, there's a real possibility that I see some small hail tomorrow night. Or somewhere in my area does. Lots of elevated instability, pretty elongated photographs, and not too curved, so that's a possibility. Let's see. Looks like some more frames have loaded in. Yep. Let's see. Bang. We're at 8Z now. Warm sector's clearing out. Let's see where our dew points are. Oh yeah, she's moving north. Is this pretty similar to the last run? Actually, it's a little bit slower, which is probably more realistic. Yeah, that looks like a huge HP monster down there in Central Texas right now. Oh, wait. You weren't wrong. Never mind, you weren't wrong, dude. I guess my radar is behind or something. Okay, my bad. True. I did not see that. I'm looking at my GR2 right now. It looks like there was a tornado, and it looks like it did do damage. That is completely my bad. Looks like a weaker tornado, but that is a tornado. I'm looking back a frame. Somehow a frame didn't load on my GR2, and I guess I missed the tornado. Oh, it looks like I even touched down at this scan. What was I smoking? Okay, sorry about that, dude. You were right. I was wrong. I will admit that I was wrong. Okay. Yeah, 60s dew points getting up to St. Louis at this point. Nice pool of upper 60s as well, moving northward. Slowly but surely. Thanks for over 100 views this stream, by the way, guys. Greatly appreciate that. Yep, we're still dealing with those elevated showers. In the warm sector there, or above the warm front. I don't know if my chat's not updating because there's 7 people in here, and I would assume people are having questions and stuff. Okay, what is going on? Okay, my YouTube studio is not working for some reason. Okay, I guess nobody else is chatting. It's slow, that's for sure. Okay, I already talked about the wrap. We have the Storm Prediction Center outlook still up. Okay, let's see what the HRRR just keeps doing. A new frame loaded in here. I wonder why the warm front is not lifted as far north yet. It's a little bit slower this run. We're starting to get there, though. Maybe because the low's probably further south. Your supercell's near you again Tuesday morning? What? You're gonna get slab chargers. What time? Tuesday morning. Won't see them chargers. Unless I'm blind, which I was blind earlier. And I completely admit that I was blind. Oh, PIA's getting under the warm front. Oh, why can't I go back on my chair? No. I messed up my chair. I can't go back on it anymore. So I'm just stuck in the same position. I can't rock back. Wait, it's tomorrow. Look at this. What? What do you want me to look at? Oh, that Texas tornado is still on the ground. It looks like. Excuse me. I'm burping up a storm right now. Or actually hiccuping up a storm. My bad. I'm a little bit of a mess right now. Okay, 13Z's loaded in. Oh yeah, those 60s are creeping up. Upper 60s already over St. Louis? Wow. As this HRRR run loads in, I will give my analysis on it, but first I gotta do something else. there's this thing I got under my chair, and I think is this how I rock back on it? I gotta figure out how I rock back on my chair, because I like doing that. And that's definitely not how I do that. Sorry guys, I'm not doing anything weather related right now. Okay, I think this should probably be it. No? Okay, screw it. We're just gonna keep it like this. I think you mean Monday morning, but yeah. It's gonna be moist and hot on Tuesday. Yeah, it really will be more. I mean, you really don't get this atmosphere in the Midwest that much, especially in April. I mean, this is 8 in the morning, you have dew points in the upper 60s. Looking at St. Louis, you're probably getting a loaded gun type sounding. Oh, yeah. That's actually already starting to erode. Capping wise, I mean, you already have 3 cape of 92. Just gotta wait for that loaded gun to cock. And bang. Yeah, you only need... Okay, you need your convective temp to get up to 87 degrees there for that to break, but... Yeah, that's a little high. What about Kansas City? Do we got a loaded gun situation over there? Oh yeah. 88 degrees. What about the Peoria sounding? What do we need to convect up here? 85? Yeah. Around 11Z? What? You mean 11Z tomorrow? Yeah, there's a bunch of super souls there. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that warm front surging north now. Take a sounding right here. I'm just gonna take a sounding every single hour the warm front keeps moving northward. Oh yeah, this is getting juiced. Still 5 people in here. If anybody's got questions, of course, just send them in here. Let's go look at the synoptic look at the whole system right now, though. So, HRRR, 500 millibar. Lead shortwave is probably in here somewhere. Still looks pretty fast. Looks about the same as it was last time. And pretty strong low-level jet still, transporting that moisture northward. And yeah, there's already 3 cape of 60 joules per kilogram in central Illinois. Ow! Actually, it's around 100, but still. I got the same thing to ask. Okay, we're at hour 40. That deep moisture reservoir is creeping into the Peoria metro area now. And we're pretty much completely uncapped. That is, wow. So, what time do we think this HRRR run is going to fire? Do we think 18Z, 19Z, 20Z? Just give me a time. Oh yeah, we're almost already at 4,000 cape and it's 11 in the morning. That is impressive. Yeah, 3,900. That is crazy. That we already have that much instability and it's 11 in the morning. You have a lot more time to destabilize and get that instability to really creep up. Very steep lapse rates on that sounding too, and your low level shear will just keep increasing. That is impressive. That's all I gotta say for that. We're now at 17 Zulu time. There is a storm popping up along the warm front already. Oh, that thing would probably be elevated, but that's over my house, so that's cool, I guess. 3,000 mixed layer cape. Let's see what the sound. Oh my goodness! That is impressive. I mean, wow. For the time of the day we're at, do we got low 70s anywhere? We're dang near close to low 70s. Wow. You weren't kidding when you said widespread cape ranging from 1,500 to 4,000. You were not kidding, dude. This is crazy, dude. See what satellite looks like. Yep, we got one tiny storm that's popping up there in central Illinois. Temperatures. Let's see. Missouri. Oh yeah, it looks like this area here in Missouri is really starting to warm up. Western Illinois is warming up. Oh yeah, it's already starting to mix out there. Why is there a gap? Is that the Illinois River just... Oh, nice. Okay, yep, here's your initiation right here. There's your convective initiation in Missouri. Here's your elevated bullcrap in central Illinois. At least I think it's probably elevated. If it's not, I'm going to be kicking myself if I miss a tornado from that. Okay, yep, that's probably not surface-based, but that's not elevated either. Oh yeah, those are for sure your storms. That'll produce tornadoes, wind, and hail with that sounding. What about the environment? Okay, so those storms are going to be in Pontiac. Let's see. That's not bad. Let's see what it looks like over Galesburg. We'll take a sounding over Galesburg. Galesburg is quite impressive. What about over Macomb? Macomb is quite impressive. That cape is still holding so far. Andrew, there are some beautiful pics of that soup. I sent one of them to you. Thank you, Veer. Probably from DFW, I would assume, or somebody. Wow, that is a mothership. That is a mothership. I can't show that because that would be copyrighted, but what Veer just sent me is indeed a mothership. And what we got is indeed an intense supercell just north of the St. Louis Metro. Not surprised. Every single global model and their mom had that thing forming. The environment in front of that is just potent. What about further north? Dude, this is nuts. Still big time capping in St. Louis. We'll take a sounding over St. Louis. Yeah, you got some capping there. You don't have the forcing either to really get much either. Nearly 4,000 joules per kilogram of cape over western Illinois. That's going to result in a sounding like that. That is impressive. We'll see if 20Z is loading in right now. Nope, not yet. Okay, not at 20Z quite yet. I said there was big time capping still over St. Louis. I didn't know if the stream's gotten to that point yet. But there is this embedded lead shortwave feature that we've been talking about for days that could spark off thunderstorm development somewhere near your area. It's just northwest of St. Louis. Let's see if this thing's going to persist. Yep, it's still persisting. Let's take a look at the environment over St. Louis for you, man. Why is there so much cape behind the storm? If I can get a sounding to load. Okay. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I am back with Dairy Queen. Let's go dive into this again. Let's take a sounding in front of this thing near Springfield. Potent environment still in play. Especially with that thing persisting. Okay, that new development west of Peoria. Those are the storms. Oh my god! That is quite the environment there. Let's see what the 22Z frame has. Woohoo! That is nuts. And that is quite literally what the Euro solution has. Oh man. I'm gonna try and get a convectively sounding it's not convectively contaminated. Yeah, that's a matured supercell in an environment that is crazy. Oh my. Let's see if Iowa's convecting. No, it's literally just been Illinois so far. That is interesting. Oh man, that environment in front of that supercell is crazy. That's the storm to be on, folks. If you're storm chasing. That's 4 o'clock, so... I know, that's 5. Let's see what 6 o'clock looks like. Okay, looks like a storm fires up by Iowa. In northeast Iowa. Elevated, though. So yeah, looks like the HRR's only printed a couple supercells so far. Oh man, what is this sounding I just pulled? This is in front of some developing storms. Those probably could go crazy in a second. Davenport at 23Z. That's a little bit excessive. So far, we got one Helicity track here, a couple here, not too many there. HRRR also has a supercell in northeast Texas. Let's take a look at that and see what that environment looks like. Doesn't really look like it has a supercell in northeast Texas. And that environment is not that good. Wow. Another picture that Veer just sent me. That's impressive structure right there. I was ready to see every single person in Illinois talk about the HRRR on Twitter. Okay, let's see if Zerzy's here. What is it showing? It's not showing much more, and that's because the South Enhanced Risk is mainly supposed to be later at night. And it looks like it has a supercell in southwest Wisconsin at 0Z, and the environment there would mainly make it an elevated supercell. So, looks like we have wasted this environment in southeast Iowa. Nothing's convected. Everything convected in Illinois. And nothing convected in Iowa. Okay, based off this HRRR run, if other models do agree, probably will stay enhanced tonight. The environment is easily high risk worthy, but you don't have the coverage. Let's go further south and look at that. Yeah, really not much. Now, I do want to say one thing. HRRR does struggle to convect dry lines. So, further to the north where we do have a dry line, in Iowa, I'm not too surprised it doesn't convect. He's probably struggling with trying to convect that area, and we've seen that in the past. The FE3 is loading in right now as well. Not too much. Anybody got some questions that they want me to answer again? Okay, nobody wants some questions answered. So um and yeah, a lot of people are doubting there's going to be that few of convective coverage, and I agree. HRRR and RAP are not that great with this that far out. I don't think Southern Illinois is going to do anything on Tuesday. Really, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's struggling to convect either, as it struggles sometimes along dry lines and stuff, like I mentioned earlier. I do think chaser convergence can very be a problem, which is why I'm going to be bringing out my convergence shirt on Tuesday. It's my favorite shirt that I have. Capping in Northeast Illinois in the HRRR. Why don't we look at that right now? Great question. Let's take a sounding west of Chicago. That is above the warm front. Yes, there's capping in Northeast Illinois, very clearly. Ohio looks interesting as well. Maybe a couple supercells form along the warm front there. Maybe some tornadoes as well there. Sneaky target in Ohio if you live there. But yes, there is capping on the HRRR. Okay, well, why don't I talk about my chase target before wrapping up the stream for today? Um, near I-80. Well, portions further west than I-80, it's not capped. Like up by Peru, not really that capped, especially when you have a supercell going. But why don't I talk about my chase target? So chase target wise, it is going to be an extremely broad chase target. Somewhere in here, and this will get narrowed down by day one, and probably northeast as well. Very broad chase target. We'll see what Cam's really to pick tonight, but yeah, this chase target's broad. Thanks to the 12 people who are here right now and everybody who's been here throughout the stream. If you guys have any questions before we wrap this thing up, I would love to answer them. We have been live for like 2 hours at this point. Almost 2 hours. Actually, more like an hour and 15 minutes. But anybody got questions? You mean day 2 moderate, and I don't think I would place one anywhere. If I had to place a day 2 moderate, it would be here. And it will be driven by tornadoes and hail. Anybody else got a question? That was a good question. If not, we will end the stream at 9:10 or so. A measure of a good day for all my fellow people that meme. A measure of a good day. If you know, you know. Hopefully this thing will probably have about 200 views when I'm done finishing this, which is great. I'm trying to get my watch hours up so I can eventually get monetization when I get a bunch of subscribers. Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to be ending it soon, though. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Don't really have much else to talk about right now. I suppose we could look at the FE3 for a little bit, but yeah. So that's going to do it for the stream. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next one.